It's a little too close. Hi and welcome to my channel. So I wanted to share with you. Okay, so I sell these candles in my shop. Most often they have the archangels seals on them. These don't have anything on them because I'm going to be using them for the energy of 12/21/21. Now, from what Spirit says, we're going to be using 7 energies for 7 intentions. And if you count the colors, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has the 7 colors, so the 7 different energies. A lot of people also associate them with the chakras. The only thing is they're not in the chakra order. Everybody says, different things. I use it because it's just 7 different energies. And then what I will do is, depending on the intentions, I will color coordinate them. So of course I'll use like green for like prosperity, red for anything that has to do with love, yellow for friendship, anything like your career and things like that. Blue will be anything that has to do for communication or conversations or you promotions, because promotions needs to have that communication. Purples could also be healing, forgiveness. White is anything that has to do with like purification or anything that you also want to heal. It's also a great way for you to ascend spiritually, so I would do that for that. And then pink is also another great for love, maybe for like new love or soulmate energy. So there's like a lot of different ways to use the colors. And of course, I'm just kind of like shooting more or less like my ideas. I'm sure if you Google like spiritual colors and their meanings, you'll get a lot of insights. But I always say just kind of like go with the flow. So what I do is when I get the intentions, I look at the colors, and Spirit usually tells me, okay, use this intention for this and that intention for that. I'm sharing this with you because you want to use this on the energy of 12/21/21. Now, there's going to be a few 12/21s in the day, which is quite nice because you also have 21 o'clock, which is military time. So you could take all of that beautiful energy. What I do is I will use the bottom of the candle to write whose candle this is, their names, their birthdays, and the overall energy. Like a lot of people are working on, manifesting more prosperity, especially with everything that's going on. But then I have some people that are manifesting like family life and marriage. Now, you have to think large. This energy is not about, hey, this is what I want to manifest in 2021. You want to, and they keep saying 5 to 7 years. So, the chapters and the journeys of our lives are in kind of like synchronized sequences, sequences of 7 years. So every 7 years, if you look at your life, you could pinpoint them to 7 years, seeing like your childhood, the first 7 years, you're like a child. From 7 to what is it, 14? You're like a preteen, right? You're in a teenage, you're like an adolescent. Then from 14 to like 21, it's a different energy. Even at 14, you feel like an adult. I know that I did. At 14, I had responsibilities. By the time I was 16, I was married. I had my first child by the time I was 17. So I was pretty much an adult. Then from 21 to like 20, I'm going to say 26, you start feeling that oh my gosh, I'm almost 30. So it's the five there, anywhere from 5 to 7 years. And then once you hit like the 30 mark, you're feeling okay until you hit 35, 36, 37, and you're like, oh shit, I'm almost 40. So there's just different chapters in our lives and different energies that we associate, what we did. Like I could tell you in 7 years, like timelines of my life because I journaled. So I could go back and kind of see, the different energies, how I felt, my experiences. So what you want to do is think about yourself as you are now, but don't look at your surroundings. Don't look at the turmoil. Don't look at what you don't want. Refocus the energy on what you desire. example, I'm going to be 47. So I'm at the mark of hitting my 50s. So I'm almost like a senior citizen, because once you turn 55, you're consider yourself a senior citizen. So in 7 years, I will be a senior citizen. So what am I looking like? What are my goals? Well, my goals is I don't want to work as much as I'm working. As much as I worked from 2017 till 2021, a lot of work. I'm looking at a lofty, retirement plan, at my forever home, somewhere where I want to live and spend my retirement. And, so those are like my goals, where I see myself in the next 5 to 7 years, doing maybe a savings plans, which I already started, but doing things for my children and my grandchildren, because that's where I'm at. So you have to look at your life and stop playing the I'm melting in my victimness, okay? Because right now you're going through this, and guess what? If you start at the beginning of this year and you go all the way to, like, say March 2022, because usually you'll go through the energy from, like, let's say November, December through March. I know it's like a 12-month, but I always feel it's like 15 months. Like our years and the energies and where we are usually last like 15 months. In a 15-month, look back 15 months ago. Think about that. I want you to really understand what Spirit is trying to share with you. Think back 15 months ago where you were. Think about the changes that you thought about making 15 months ago, and see if you have done those. See if you have accomplished some. Maybe not all, but see what you have accomplished. And then now, let's think, okay, this is where I am now. I did accomplish this. I did accomplish that. Okay, so in the next 15 months, I want to accomplish X, Y, Z. And then let's expand it to 5 15-month periods. And those will be approximately the 7 years. Do you understand? I love, and you're going to laugh. I suck at math. I have dyslexia. So math and me, yeah, we're not good friends. So this is all Spirit. I would have never broken down any mathematical. Forget about it. So when you set these intentions, and Spirit's also telling me that you don't have to get this exact candle. You could get 7 votives. Okay? I have the blue moon candles in my shop. I don't have any in front of me so I can show you. They're very similar to these, but they're blue. They have the blue moon energy. Because I still have, believe it or not, I still have some. Haha. Which I'm making a super duper batch of this extension, because this extension, like I said, it's like every 100 years. So I'm making a super batch of this oil for the 12/21/21, and it's winter solstice, friends. So think about all the massive energy that is occurring during this time frame. So when you write your intentions, you want to use a power phrase, not I want a pink house on top of a hill with a lake. I know that all the manifesting books tell you details, details, details. When you're working with Spirit, you want to allow synchronized energy. You want to tell Spirit, I declare and I am grateful for a 3 to 4 bedroom home next to a lake, on the beach, on a farm, in the city, wherever you freaking want to live. I wouldn't pinpoint, like, unless you really, really want to live in certain like cities and places. I like to give Spirit the kind of like openness to give me even more than what I would think of, because our human mindset tends to always think small. We think, oh, well, if I make X amount of money, I'll be fine. And then you make that amount of money and then you spend it, or like now inflation, so you want for nothing. You want to get to a space in your life where you're so prosperous, where you're so abundant, where you're so healthy, that you are living in bliss, that you're not living in turmoil. And I've talked to a few of you that right now are super duper melting in your lives. And what are the changes that you require? This is what this is all about. Not about getting back at the exes, at the friends, at the partners, at the roommates, at your leaders and managers and whatever the fudge. No, 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 no. This is what does you, me, her, what do you desire? Okay? A new home, a 6-figure income. I don't associate with the lottery. So when people's like, I want to win the lottery, have fun. That's why usually I sell like lottery things, but I don't do them because I feel like it for me. So I don't want to put my ideals over you. I feel like it's very controlled. So that's why I don't believe it. I believed in the lottery in the 70s and 80s when it was actually people underground and they would actually pick numbers and yeah, you would win money. Now it's very controlled. So that's my ideals. Please don't judge me. Anywho, if it's the lottery, you want to write that. I declare and I'm truly grateful that I have won $10 million in the Florida lottery. I am grateful and I declare that I am married and happy and living in harmony and bliss and joy with my faithful, beloved spouse. You know, of course I added a lot more, but you get the sentiment. I declare and that I am grateful that I have touched the lives of so many individuals, that thousands upon thousands of individuals come to my channel every week and they take beauty and they take love and they take healing. So you want to not just declare, you know, because like, for example, my channel has, what is it? 1,000 subscribers. So what's my next? My next would be 10,000 subscribers, right? That would be my next milestone. But where do I see myself in 5 years? Maybe 100,000 subscribers, you know? So you want to think in that bigness, you know? Right now I have a 3-bedroom apartment. I want a 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom home with a garage so I have room for my work, right? And with a yard. So I don't have to go all the way to my mom's house to work my fairy oils. So you understand, you want to expand your horizons. And the reason I'm sharing all of this is because you need to let go of the turmoil. No matter how you find yourself today, that isn't real. It feels, it's exhausting, you're freaking melting, but that is part of your past. It is time for you to get up, dust yourself off, set those intentions, declare that you are wonderful and that you deserve the very, very best. And then, because this is another thing, and I want you to be aware of this. This is not pixie dust. This is not bibbidi bobbidi boo. The lottery is not going to come and knock on your door and tell you to play it. The job is not going to come to your door and say, here's the application, I want to hire you. You have to then pay attention. And that is where a lot of people fall out. They're like, Daisy, but I've done everything. I've lit all the candles. I've written in your cash book. I script every single day. Okay. And what synchronized energy, what has Spirit showed you? Because the funny part is that some of you, I read you. So I know what Spirit has told you. And a lot of the times, not all the times, but a lot of the times, you don't take the action. If Spirit tells you 6 months ago, hey Joe, I think you need to start looking for another job because your manager's a piece of poop. And if you don't, It's not going to be pretty. But see, right now, Joe's not thinking about that because Joe has his job. And yeah, his manager's a piece of poop. But Spirit is talking about 3, 4, 6 months from now. Joe doesn't care about that. Joe is focused on Sally, why Sally hasn't called him. Sally's, not a nice person. I want to do a love spell on Sally. Why is Daisy talking about my freaking job? I don't give a crap. 3 to 6 months later, here's Joe. Daisy, I lost my job. I don't understand. My life is a piece of crap. I'm melting. Joe, 3 to 6 months ago, Spirit told you to start looking for another job. So, and this is not to make fun of you. Do you know how many times Spirit tells me stuff? And I'm just like, I have time. I feel like Wilson and Tom Hanks from Castaway. Wilson, we got time. We got time, Wilson. All the time. I always say that. I have time. Oh, it's fine. I'll start working on that tomorrow. Tomorrow never comes. Tomorrow is always tomorrow. Can you grasp that? Can you really understand this? Tomorrow is always tomorrow. Human minds don't think about that. If we say we're going to do something tomorrow, tomorrow never comes because it's always tomorrow. It's always in the future. You have to pay attention and do, even if it's just one thing towards that. Even if Joe would have, you know what? I know I'm focused on Sally, but Daisy told me that Spirit said that I should start looking for another job. So let me get my feet wet. Starts Googling, researching. Because believe you me, once Spirit tells you, hey, start looking for another job, Spirit already knows that there's a job that's there for you. They know. They're going to synchronize you with it. But we should not wait till we're melting 6 months after the fact. And this is why readings are so important. And they don't always tell you because, that's another thing. A lot of people say, what? Because I had a client that I was like, but we didn't see this. What do you mean they did that? But what? But when? But how? Well, so when things like that happen, we humans, we have free will, right? So we can do whatever we want. We are fine and dandy. Spirit will show you that everything's fine and dandy. And then, you wake up as a human with free will and decide, I'm going to fuck it up. Excuse me. And then you're melting because they did something that Spirit did not foresee, because it wasn't like something premeditated, there wasn't something planned. It was like a wake up type, So there's a lot, it's complicated. I'm gonna be honest. It's freaking complicated. It took for somebody really extremely negative to kind of put me in such a bad slump that I was just like, okay, I'm deleting, delete. For me to say, okay, I'm not doing that anymore. You are absolutely right. 12/21/21. That's the door. Do you hear it? They're knocking. Are you going to open? Or are you going to wallow in your victimized energy? Because we could all give up. Giving up is you handing the baton over to the darkness and saying, you won. I'm done. You won. No. Go ahead and melt today. We're all going to have our toddler days and we throw ourselves on the floor and we cry. I want chocolate. It's okay to have those days. Me, I will make me some hot chocolate, extra marshmallows, sit in the bed, grab me some Hallmark, feel good. I'll either watch The Witch's Garden or some Client List. I think I rewatched those 3 seasons. Lifetime, you suck. And I'll just enjoy it. Feel good. Yes, corny. Call me corny. I'm a happy corny person. And then after the fact, I feel good. But see, that's not what people do. People will cry and then they'll watch something or do something or call their victim friend that are doing worse than you are. And then you start talking how awful your lives are together. And that, my friend, is why, as humans, we do not move forward. I know what is one of my main issues is driving. I feel like every time I get away from one place and I go to the next, the driving is just worse and worse and worse. So what do? What is the best thing for me to do? Is move somewhere where I have everything next to me so I could walk or ride a bike or live far, far away from everybody that Walmart is 10 miles away. And have Amazon deliver the stuff. You know, like we need to simplify, find the chaos in our lives and face them head on. And then declare what we desire. And then be open to when Spirit says, hey, Sally, I need you to take yoga classes. You know that soulmate that you say you haven't met? He's going to be there. So, of course, it's not going to be just like that because, well, you're not Daisy. What will happen is you will find a flyer for a yoga class or a seminar or church or whatever, farmer's market. Or somebody will call you and be like, hey, guess what? I'm starting this new fitness plan and I think you would really benefit from it and I would so love a friend to come with me. Oh, I don't want to go. So the energies, spirituality, spirit, when they talk to us through our motor skills, right? Some of us have heightened spiritual skills. Like I will be in the kitchen and spirit will come and talk to me. It's really hard to explain how that works. But other people don't get that. So you'll get, books or, radio or pamphlets or a friend telling you. So you have to be aware. And something that I learned from the, with the whole New Age era in the early 2000s was that in order for you to focus that you have to live in your now moment. And in order for you to live in your now moments, you gotta get the freak off of your social media. People are so like, they're talking about zombies. This light is killing me. Sorry, guys. People talk about zombies. Oh my God. Zombies are people in their gadgets, completely hypnotized. Like, have you ever opened TikTok and noticed that you'll be there for half an hour and you don't even notice that you were there for 30 minutes? Because it's the next video and the next video and the next video. It's like, once you start, you can't put it down, So you cannot be consumed by the media. You have to be in a now state to focus your surroundings, especially when you're doing your day-to-day. So I think I babbled enough. My main thing is on 12/21/21, you want to set your intentions. Of course, my ritual is going to be beautiful. So in my ritual, I am using these candles because they last 5 to 7 days, which I love. And sometimes a little less. I've had people get mad at me because their candle only lasted 3 days. It's not my fault. It's that spirit literally used all the energy for your stuff. So, it's not an often thing. Usually I think it's usually 5 and 7 days. And I've even had some because I do sometimes snuff them. If I see that I'm not going to be around, I like to always be around my candles. So sometimes they will last a little longer due to that fact. But you will see the ritual. I'm going to do videos of the overall, not too much because this ritual is going to have like a lot of like pretty colors, a lot of glitter, a lot of oils, a lot of just like spirit is already showing me like what to gather, and I love it that they actually gave me time this time because they used to be like the last one, the 11/21 one, they literally told me about that energy, I think in a week. It's like, really? Can you guys give me some time? Thank God my Patreons, you guys are amazing. So you're like, yeah, I'm in, you know. So I absolutely love that this ritual, we have time. I don't have a lot of spots. I think I only have like enough for my Patreons and maybe like one more person. Um, because I love, like I always, like I say, I give in my rituals. That's why I'm so excited that I'm no longer doing those lots of little rituals that I was doing before, because they took a lot of time. You know, I was definitely not making, you know, the prosperity that I should have been making. And I love that these rituals manifest so beautifully. Like the manifestations that you see in these rituals are just surreal, you know. And I love hearing how the peace that you get, the serenity that you get, the dreams. Like some of you have these crazy dreams, and I love to like be able to like look at them and see if I can decipher. Some of them I could decipher. Some of them some of your spiritual guys are very riddled, so I can't always decipher them. But I like to look at them to see what insights I get, and you know how I could share. You know, so it's very lovely to like be a part of this. And once again, I'm always saying Patreon, 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 because you will start to notice that none of those rituals are on my Etsy shop any longer. I now do like the larger, the more like you see like rituals like this, like during the energies. I'm also doing the 111 energy for New Year's. So if you want to be part of that, that's on my Etsy shop. I'm not even offering that to my Patreons because I feel like this the 12th 21 21 is the energy. Like this is the energy.